Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I am playing some mono black demons in standard best of one ladder. Last week I played a Golgari Ouroboride deck where I tried to mix the Ouroboride with some demons, and well, things didn't really work out so well. So today I am fully committing to the plan of killing my opponent with demons. Let's quickly run over the deck. We'll look at some stats and then we'll jump into some games. Before I do all that, of course, if you could, subscribe up, leave a comment down below, and like the video. Now, why are we playing demons? The reason you want to be playing demons is because of this card right here, Unholy Annex. It is one of the best cards for demons. It's a crazy Phyrexian arena. It has two parts to it. The first part, 3 mana Unholy Annex. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If you control a demon, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Otherwise, you lose 2 life. This card is just insane. You've gone up against it before if you're playing in standard. It's awesome. The other side of the card is Ritual Chamber. 5 mana creates a 6/6 flying demon. Simple enough. Now, to complement that, we are playing a whole suite of demons. We are playing 3 copies of Bloodletter of Aclazotz. This is probably the most powerful demon in the deck, the one that opponents have to be most afraid of. It is a 2/4 for 4, pretty expensive, and it costs 1 and 3 black mana. But it is a vampire demon flying, and it says if an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life. So if we go in attacking with our 6/6 demon, that's going to produce 6 damage. If we ping them with the Unholy Annex, because we have the Bloodletter on the field, that's going to be 4 damage to the opponent. You can see how things get out of control very quickly. We are also playing 4 copies of the Demon Wall. Demon Wall's awesome. It's a 2 mana 3/3. Defender Menace can't attack because it has Defender. However, if we put a +1/+1 counter on it, it will be able to attack. And that's all we're running for the demons. We have the Demon Wall, we have the Bloodletter, and we have the demon from the Ritual Chamber. That's all we kind of need. However, over in our lands, we do have one more sneaky demon. How can I show it to you? We have this one, Soulstone Sanctuary. This land becomes a 3/3 creature with Vigilance and is all creature types. So do not ignore the Soulstone Sanctuary. It is a way that you could maybe end the game by finding a sneaky demon. But we are playing a bunch of other really good black creatures. We are playing 2 copies of Cecil. I'm sure you're familiar with it by now. 2/3 Death Toucher. Whenever it does damage to something, creature or player, we also take that much damage. But if we have our life total equal to or less than half of our starting life total, so 10 or less, it'll transform into the Redeemed Paladin, which is a life linking 4/4. Cecil is just always impressive to me. I wish there were kind of more in this deck, but 2 seems fine. We are playing 4 copies of Deep Cavern Bat to play a little bit of disruption for the opponent. It looks at their hand, removes 1 card from their hand until it leaves the battlefield. Then we are also playing 4 copies of the Unstoppable Slasher. And the reason you're playing 4 copies of Unstoppable Slasher is because it combos really well with our Bloodletter of Aclazotz. If we have this on the field and the opponent gets hit by the Unstoppable Slasher, they die. Isn't that kind of cool? Like, sure. Half their life total rounded up, and then the other half comes from the Bloodletter. Kind of neat. And then the last creature that is in the deck is the Elegy Acolyte. The Elegy Acolyte is just a really powerful creature, and the reason I wanted to play this deck is because I saw it playing this card, and I want to play more of this Acolyte. It is a 4/4 for 4 mana lifelink. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. That sounds pretty good. Then it has a Void ability. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, yours or your opponent's, or if a spell was warped. We do have warps no, we don't have any warps in this. Sorry. We have another card that works with warp, but not warping ourselves. If that happens, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. So we can just fill out the board pretty easily by murdering our opponent's creatures, running our things into the opponent's board. Lots of things when this card is on the field. I think it's just a great card overall, and it really hoses our mono red opponents. Then the rest of the deck is all interaction. We have some duress, we have tragic trajectories to kill our opponent's creatures, more ways of murdering our opponent's creatures with Shoot the Sheriff. We're playing 3 copies of Arch Enemy's Charm. This one actually kind of works with Demon Wall, putting a 2 +1/+1 counters on the Demon Wall with the bottom ability of the Charm is a valid strategy, and a strategy that I did use to great effect to kill a Kaido when I was practicing this deck. But otherwise, we're mostly going to be using it for that first ability to exile target creature or planeswalker. Rush of Dread is a spree card that allows us to do a bunch of different things. Base cost is 1 black black, but then if we pay 1 more, target opponent sacrifices half their creatures they control of their choice, rounded up, or we can make the opponent discard half the cards in their hand, rounded up, or we can make the opponent lose half their life, rounded up. So lots and lots of cool things. It's just a one of, it's a fun of kind of card. And that is the deck. You know, it looks pretty solid overall. It's a lot more consistent than the Ouroboros deck that I put together, the Golgari one. We are all in on removing our opponent's creatures, putting out really nasty threats, and pinging them with the Unholy Annex. Now, let's take a bit of a look at how this deck is performing in the meta. And unlike the other decks, the Life Gain deck and the mono red deck that I played this week, not mono red, Boros Burn deck that I played this week, this deck has a much more consistent matchup across the board. So whereas mono red was losing hard to life gain and the life gain deck was losing hard to control, this deck just it does well against everything, or not so badly against everything. We're going to do well against Landfall because, of course, we can remove our opponent's creatures, get rid of their Hydras, get rid of their Tifas very easily. Same thing with the mono red. We can remove their threats like their slick shot show-offs very efficiently, and then we're going to be gaining a ton of incidental life here and there, being able to stay alive against the opponent's aggression. A little bit surprised that we're doing well against the Esper Mill deck, or well enough, but 53%, you know, that's not well. It's just a slight advantage against that deck. But I am a little bit surprised that we're not below 50% against Mill, according to the stats. That one kind of sticks out to me because I'm not sure how we do well against that deck. Mono white life gain, probably same idea. We get to remove their threats very effectively, and then we can just overwhelm them with our demons. But 52%, pretty even matchup overall. I think we have a worse matchup against Gruul Landfall than the mono green Landfall, because the Gruul Landfall might be packing a little bit of haste, and then they could maybe get in with a surprise attack against us. And then as we go down to our worst matchups, you know, as low as 45, 43%. We'll not talk about this one right now. But I think, yeah, the Dimir mid-range or the Dimir control decks can probably just grind us out, and there's not a whole lot we can do about that. The Selesnya Rabbits probably just overwhelm us. We can remove some of their lords, but then they go super wide, and we can't deal with it because we're not playing board wipes, and this is a best of one deck. And then the Jeskai Artifacts deck, I think, probably has a really good matchup against this deck because we can't deal with the Fire Crystal, you know, construct wide board of 10/10s that swing in at us suddenly out of nowhere. But yeah, that's the archetype matchups. Overall, it looks okay. The demon deck is okay. I will say it's not as powerful as other ones, but it is an awfully fun deck to play, and that's why we're here today. So we're going to run it through some games, see how it performs, and try to get some wins. See you in the games. Okay, time to play some demons in standard. I love this deck. This deck's fun. Demons are fun. This opening hand, not so fun. Like, you can't keep this, right? No. I'm gonna mulligan into something so much worse. Oh, okay, it's fine. We got a little bit of removal. We got the duress. Do we get rid of? We could keep both unstoppable slashers, and because 2 unstoppable slashers is very annoying for the opponent to have to deal with. Arch Enemy's Charm, maybe we can throw it away, just hope that the trajectory and the duress is going to get us to our 3rd land. Okay. Now I kind of wish that I had the Arch Enemy's Charm for the lifelink, but we'll be okay. I think these unstoppable slashers are going to make things very uncomfortable, very awkward for the opponent. And we do find our land. So now, do I really want to remove this, or do I want to save it for something later? I think I'm fine leaving the Fanatical Firebrand for now. Anyways, if you skip the intro, subscribe up, like, and comment, all that good stuff. I really appreciate all of that stuff. Next, we could go a little bit different. We could go Demon Wall now and push their Pyromancer, which I don't actually mind. And that means if they end up using removal like a lightning strike on this demon wall, it'll stop them from using the lightning strike on our unstoppable slasher. It could be a bigger problem for them. So I like this play a little bit better. Just put the demon wall out there. They ping, and they have a what do you got? Shock, maybe? Burst Lightning for the Demon Wall. I'm so fine with that. That seemed like a desperation play from the opponent. They get in for 1. And now, ooh, if it'll be over, it's absolutely over if we find our 4th land. Fingers crossed. Now I gotta say about this deck, and I'm gonna regret saying this, but I'm gonna say it. I played this deck a bunch yesterday, and it was playing amazingly well. I was so happy with it, and I know I'm just setting myself up to jinx myself now. But yes, I do like this deck. It's a whole lot of fun. Okay, the opponent does have a mountain, so it's possible that they have another Burst Lightning or a Shock. So if I attack in with my Unstoppable Slasher, they might be able to kill it with, Firebrand and that, or they might just do it right now. If they do it right now, I would prefer them to do it on the next turn because of the Acolyte. It will allow us to get the Warp trigger going. If they murder it now, the Warp trigger won't be a thing. So the opponent does take it out now, but they're down to 2 cards. Again, if we peel the 4th land, no, we don't. Instead, we just go out with the Unstoppable Slasher, backup plan. 2 of these on the field, going to make things very uncomfortable. Also, if you are playing... Oh, okay. Well, I think it's fine. I don't really want to shut off my life gain, especially if I get these Acolyte on the field. And now I'm going to be hitting them for... What? The opponent is a sneaky, sneaky person. I don't know if you saw this. The second right here, if a target player has exactly 10 life, it deals 10 damage. What? Oh my god, the opponent, sneaky, sneaky. So we got to get up to 11 life real fast. And now we'll play out our Acolyte with that mana. A little bit awkward. We can't really attack into with the Screaming Nemesis right now. Really? You're just going to peel Screaming Nemesis like that? Terrifying. Okay, we do hit Shoot the Sheriff. That's okay. We can go and take this Bolt Wave. We're going to attack in for... If I attack in with everything, they will deal some amount of damage to me. They have to probably block... No, it's not the time yet. It's not the time yet. We're just getting in with the Deep Combat. Next turn, hopefully they stumble, and then maybe we find a little bit of an opening. We draw a card, we lose a little bit of life, but we have our Aclazotz, which might be able to push things. If they don't have anything here, we shoot the Sheriff, one of the Screaming Nemesis, we put out the Aclazotz, and that should probably mean we win the game. We are still able to gain a little bit of life, so if we attack in, they block, we're probably gaining 6 life. If they have a Shock or a Burst Lightning on their Screaming Nemesis this turn, it makes things a little bit more awkward. What are they doing? Are they going to attack with 1? No, they're attacking all out. Okay, we hit that, and then I think I'm okay blocking with the Elegy. They're going to deal... No, is there... Okay. No. You just let this go through, right? They deal 5 damage, or 6 damage, but they don't have a way of dealing 5 damage with 1 card in hand, right? That it's impossible for them to deal 5 damage, I think. They might try to turn off our lifelink, which is going to be irrelevant in the end, and yeah, we got them, okay. I think if we block there, still probably it was... okay, because we were going to basically negate the damage that they would have done with the Screaming Nemesis by gaining the life, but then they could have pinged something. There was no world where we should block there. They only have 1 card. All right, good little start. On to the next one. So very interesting first game there against the mono-red player. Man, mono-red drawing so many Screaming Nemesis against me. It's getting tilting. I feel like this week has just been opponent with Screaming Nemesis Tribal. Screaming Nemesis Tribal. Whoa, we're up against another Screaming Nemesis. What is going on here? Okay, well, we do have the Rush of Dread. We do have the Tragic Trajectory. So we have a lot of options for dealing with this. This Demon Wall also a little bit awkward. They can't remove it very easily with the Burst Lightning. And it's a pretty good blocker overall. I guess we're just playing out our cards, and next turn hoping that we find a land. I really want to... So this must be a combo too, right? Target opponent loses half their life rounded up. If an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life. So if we go land, we get out our Bloodletter of Aclazotz, then we go out with the Rush of Dread, choosing the last mode for 5 mana. I'm pretty sure that just kills him. I've never pulled it off, but it would seem like that's a combo. So, good opening for the deck against 2 mono red opponents. That second opponent mulling down to 6, getting hit with the duress kind of tilted them out of the game, and they were going second. So now we are on the draw, and we'll see if we get tilted out against control. I guess I had this coming, didn't I? Unfortunately, Tragic Trajectory in hand instead of Duress. It would have been a whole lot better to be able to turn 1 Duress them. What we need to win this game, okay, that's not... We're against Jeskai artifacts, right? So it's pretty bad. There's the land. We need to get the Unholy Annex on the field. We need to be able to start draining them. Let's see what they got in hand. We are going to be taking their... Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? So the Pinnacle Star Cage is going to be able to hit the Bat. The Perilous Snare is going to hit the Unholy Annex. The Spell Pierce is going to make playing out something very awkward next turn. What do you take? Man, everything sucks. I suppose you take the Spell Pierce in hopes that... Well, I mean, we're going to be able to play out the Unholy Annex. It's going to get hit by the Perilous Snare no matter what. So, at least we can draw 1 card. Maybe I should just save it, though. When I was looking back at my Ouroboride video, there were some situations where I knew the opponent had removal for my Unholy Annex. So instead of playing out the Ritual Chamber, I played out the Unholy Annex, and it didn't really work out. Now, in this case, if I play out the Ritual Chamber on turn 5, they are going to just Spell Cage it. So no matter what, I'm kind of in a weird spot. You know what? I am going to go out with the Unholy Annex. The reason I'm going to do this is it draws me a card, and then it gives me a turn 4 Bloodletter of Aclazotz. If they use their Perilous Snare on the Unholy Annex, that's fine, right? That bit of removal's gone. They cannot hit the Bloodletter of Aclazotz with the Pinnacle Star Cage, and so that's where my mind's at. Now, though, actually, I think I like the Acolyte a little bit more than the Bloodletter, because next turn putting out the Bloodletter will allow me to attack in for potentially 10 damage, probably 8 damage, but we'll see. Yeah, it's crazy that this demon is not a legendary demon, isn't it? If you have 2 of these on the field, ooh, things get real nasty real fast. Alright, let's see what you're up to, opponent. Play out your land at the very least. Let's go. Oh, okay, they got tons of land. So they are going to Pinnacle Star Cage, hitting my Bat, and then they have their Spell Pierce. But the Spell Pierce, I'm not so scared of that. So Bloodletter onto the field. Now they might have a Saw Blades. If they have the Saw Blades, that's going to be pretty annoying. But if they have it, they have it. They have it. They have the Saw Blades to deal 5 damage to our poor Acolyte. What a draw from the opponent. But now they are down to Island, Spell Pierce, and 2 mystery cards. And maybe our position's pretty good. Next turn we can go out with another Bloodletter of Aclazotz and then start attacking in. That's going to be a lot of damage. They drew another land. Whew. Okay, so full commit to the board. Yep, here we go. Bam, bam, damage. Ping, ping. Down to 4. The opponent needs a massive draw here. This deck, huge advantage over us. Oh, the Saw Blades is really good. Hits our Aclazotz. Okay. We can bring it back. Return 1 or 2 target creatures from your graveyard to your hand, and we get a win against one of our our worst matchups. Wow, our rival right there. Whew, and they had good draws. Cool. Next one. Game number 4. Demons are feeling good. The one thing I like about this deck, yeah, we can keep this, is that it feels consistent and it feels strong in a lot of different situations. And that's just a good feeling. You don't, when you play life gain, sometimes you get those really awkward draws where things just go real bad. Okay, we're going to take the 3 steps ahead. The reason is I'm going to get this Unholy Annex on the field as quickly as I possibly can. They will probably use the Lightning Helix on our poor Deep Cavern Bat. We'll try to attack in for 1. Hey, we get it. And assuming that they didn't, well, they don't have blue mana. That thing I didn't really look at. So they do use the Lightning Helix. Still, well, they do have an island in hand, so they can cast at least their star charts on the following turn. But we do find another Deep Cavern Bat. I'm sorry, opponent. What are you doing? They're playing Vivi. Okay. Man, this is so confusing to me. Do I take the Shiko or do I take the... I think I take the star charts. And we are going to be shooting this Vivi. Next turn, potentially going with the Unholy Annex Demon. Whew. Okay. They won't be able to counter that. They have a land in hand, Shiko, 3 steps ahead, and a mystery card. They're probably holding up mana for the 3 steps ahead. So what we do is we just unlock the Ritual Chamber. We're going to hopefully be able to ping them for 2 damage. Yep. And then if they play out the Shiko next turn, that's fine, because we can just shoot it on our following turn, and we'll be in a pretty good position to put out a ton of damage. There is the Shiko. What are they grabbing? Lightning Helix? No, Vivi. Wait, what? What? Wait, whoa, hang on. Hold up. You can play permanents? I always thought Shiko was a instant or sorcery. Huh. So we are going to be... Yeah, we remove both, right? Fine. This is the opening. We do this. We get in for 9 damage this turn. And although it is not lethal... Oh, it will be presenting... No, it won't be lethal. We'll be a little bit short on the following turn, because we can do another 9 damage. Second Shiko. Okay. Makes things a little bit uncomfortable for us. And they gain a little bit of life. Star Chart's going to be huge for them at some point. But we do have the opening now. We got to attack in. I'm sure they block. Whoa. Okay. Unstoppable Slasher. They're going to have to deal with that. And now we have a Tragic Trajectory. I don't know if it'll be a big deal. But this is as good as I'm going to be able to do against this opponent. They are hitting all their lands. They attack in with the Vigilance Shiko, because why wouldn't you? And since that's the case, let's do the Deep Cavern Bat. We'll see what's going on in their hand. Jeskai Revelation. That's real bad. What a card for the opponent. That's a blowout for... Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. Because I was in this mode and I went to click off, and I got to look at the replay of that. As soon as their hand popped up for me to suck something out of it with the bat, I clicked there and it grabbed the stock up. Would I have grabbed the stock up? I don't think I would have. Okay. It's still fine, because we get to remove the Shiko, we get to put out an Acolyte, and we may as well play out a land. Now we are taking damage from our Unholy Annex, though. We're not draining them, because we need to find either another Unholy Annex, we need to find a Demon Wall, or an Aklazot. So we got plenty of draws, though, in our deck. That means we have 11 draws in our deck, I believe. So more than 1/4 of our deck is that. So we have like a 27% chance to draw a demon. And we are drawing 2 cards a turn. Instead, we draw the Duress. Let's use the Duress. This will force them probably to use the Lightning Helix on the Deep Cavern Bat. And that means that our Acolyte is now online. Okay. Yeah, I'll pay that. And what do we got? Man, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, target creature you control gains double strike until the end of turn or stock up. These are all horrible. Like, both of these are real bad. I guess we take this, and we can't attack in. So instead we just make a void creature, draw an Unholy Annex, kind of huge for us. And we'll see what they do. They're going to VV and stock up. It's going to use a lot of their mana. They're down to 3, but they do have the VV 1 extra mana there. Hopefully they don't find some instant speed spells. These prowess creatures are really bad. Man, that... Whew! Talk about a card that just hoses us. Return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. It deals 4 damage. They were able to hit our Unstoppable Slasher and return our Demon. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They murder our Acolyte. And now they might be getting frisky. Oh, they're just going hard. Goodness gracious. I think they still have 3... I don't know if they have 3 mana, actually. I think they probably used the mana from the VV that turn. And do they attack in? They do attack. Okay, we're taking 8 damage. We're taking 8 damage. Ooh. What a world. Okay. It's fine, though, because we are going to play out everything to the field. So we get our Demon. We get our Unholy Annex. We're now drawing 2 cards a turn. Let's put a +1/+1 counter on our Unstoppable Slasher. I suppose, not potentially put a +1/+1. I like the Acolyte. Yeah, let's draw the Acolyte. And you know what? I think I may as well put that out. No attacks. We drain them for 2, go up to 10. They go down to 8. Ooh, this turned into a kind of a fun game. But they're drawing. Well, we're drawing a lot of cards. They're drawing a lot of cards. They have more mana than we do, unfortunately, because of this VV. We're gonna need to find ways of exiling. Arch Enemy's Charms would be very welcome right now. Okay. The opponent is gonna have. I'm gonna take a little bit of a drink. The opponent's gonna have a 6-minute turn. It doesn't matter what shell you play VV in, it takes too long. Man. Season of the Burrow, sure. What does that card even do? Exile. Exile, and its controller draws a card. Okay. So we might be in a spot where we're chump blocking some stuff. The white... What? When this enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Holy cow. Okay. Opponent, when you have so much card advantage and you are making upwards of 20 or plus more mana on whatever turn this is. This was pretty late in the game. You know, whatever. It is what it is. But that's a cool looking deck. That's VV ban. Let's get rid of it. Let's hashtag VV ban. I hate this card. Okay, we are now up against Sir Kirby. Fine, let's find a more honorable opponent. What is this? What is this hand? In no way can you ever keep that hand, unfortunately. This hand, though, looks pretty good. We're gonna go out Cecil into Unholy Annex into Bloodletter. Does that mean I have to get rid of the Acolyte? That hurts me. But the Acolyte is so good. Do I really need the Bloodletter of Aclazotz? I think I do. It's a demon. We're playing a demon deck. I think you have to go that way. And they are playing Lifelink. So I don't know how this matchup goes. I actually haven't faced Lifelink too much. Authority of the Consuls plus Leyline of Hope. So now I'm starting to think that this is not actually Lifelink. Or Life Gain. I keep calling it Lifelink. I'm sorry. It's Life Gain. Misspeaking. It is what it is. Instead, I should have put out the Soulstone Sanctuary there. That's a misplay. Sorry. My bad. But we get in for another 2 damage. We ping ourselves for 2, and we're going to have to put out the Soulstone Sanctuary next turn into their Authority of the Consuls. It is what it is. Okay, a Resplendent Angel. Okay, hang on. That's not what I expected. So, I guess we're still putting out the Aclazotz, and they're going to gain a little bit of life. Do I want to attack in with the Cecil? I think I do. I didn't think that would be the thing. We gain a little bit of life. They lose more than a little bit of life. And we draw a very good charm. Hopefully, sticking. Why is it sticking? Go away. Yeah, that keeps happening to me whenever I click on something. Oh, they went that way with it. Okay. So they are not gaining. Okay. Oh, they did gain enough life. How did they gain enough life? Oh, they gained 5 life, 4 plus 1 for that. Ouch. Okay, so we can do a lot of things here, but not actually a lot of things because this has ward. So I guess what I have to do is I just want to remove this. We can't allow this to be on the field. This is going to cost all of our mana, or take all of our mana for this turn, but we do get our Unholy Annex back. It's locked though, and I think I'm going to attack in with the Cecil. If they want to give me... Nope, they don't. That's fine. We get our Redeemed Paladin. We can start gaining life. Yeah, when this comes back, we don't get either of the sides unlocked, right? Or was I allowed to choose a side there? Oh, maybe I messed that up. I think I don't know how to play with this card. So is this allowing me to unlock? I could have unlocked one of the sides? Oh, I could have had a demon last... No. Okay, I just don't know what's happening. That sucks. That really sucks. So that means I'm dead? Okay. I don't know. I'm not going to take fault for this one. This was 100% not my fault. You saw how it was glowing, and it kind of made it look like I was getting like a free thing. I didn't know the interaction when this card gets like sucked up and then it returns to the field. Do I get to just like do whatever? Apparently not. Okay, they are attacking like this, and I have no choice. I have to put my poor Bloodletter of Aclazotz in front of that. But we do gain a little bit of life. They are going to get 2+1/+1 counters on something. And they keep their Angel around. But we do draw that. That's not bad. So we can shoot and push and put out another Cecil. So what are we shooting? I think we're shooting this. And we are doing this. Yeah, I think I have to. And then I'll put out the Cecil. They gain 2 life. They gain 4 life. Actually, this is a really little interesting interaction from the opponent. Do I want to attack in? Is it... I think it's fine. They're going to deal some damage. I don't think they were going to be able to deal 5 damage to me this turn. I think I have to start attacking. Okay. I can't let them heal up enough where they get +2/+2 on all of these cards. And I have to kind of... go away. I have to hope that our defense is going to be good enough here. So we 100% want to unlock this turn. And now... I don't think I can actually attack in this turn now. Now I'm... Yeah, but I really need to. I need to keep them below 27. We're going to go up... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Duress, really bad draw for us. We need to get probably the Acolyte on the field next turn. They whiff, okay. So they go up to that, whatever. And we keep... I can't attack this turn, right? No, I can't attack. I can. It's brave. It's brave, but I'm going to attack. I'm going to assume that they're... No, I just killed myself. I just killed myself because of this. Because I forgot about this. Now they just attack with everything and I die, right? Yeah, they have enough damage. If they... Maybe they... Okay, they don't realize it. Were we dead no matter what? I think, okay, yeah, maybe we were dead no matter what. I like this block doesn't work. We're going to take damage, and yeah. If I had one more blocker, I think I was still dead no matter, yeah. Things just went weird. I think me unlocking the Unholy Annex for free was where I really messed that up. I really that visual bug made me think too stupidly, and I thought I was getting a gift from Wizards of the Coast, but I guess that's not how things work. Whatever. Oh man, you know what really hosed me in that last game was the Authority of the Consuls. The Authority of the Consuls did so much work for them. Authority plus the Hope on the field is very, very powerful, especially against us. We're playing a good number of creatures, everything coming in tapped and gaining them to life. Weird. I think that game, I really wish I could go back and replay that game because I think there were a lot of stupid things I did. Again, hey, give me a break. It's hard when you're recording and you're talking and you're kind of dumb and it's early morning. Yay, we win. Whatever. I'm sorry, Serp. I'll probably include that last game in the video, but I'll just add it to the life gain deck, and just, you know, it was a little bit of a bonus thing at the end of that video. Oh, do you draw the third land? Yeah, I mean, this deck is playing a ton of lands. I think you can most of the time take the risk. I think it's 24 lands, maybe 25, but I think it's 24. We are against the Prof's Eidetic Memory. Very, very problematic. Hopefully this Deep Cavern Bat can hit their key card here. What is their key card? Tursa. So next turn they're going to go out maybe Winter Night Stories. VV. Of course it was VV. No other decks are playing Profs. It is, yeah, there's the Winter Night Stories. So we get to maybe reach into their hand and grab their... But you know what? I don't care about their Agathas. If they go out with Agathas next turn, we go land, Bloodletter, and kill them. Okay. Well, they're going a little bit of a different path. That's fine. So does that change? Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so lame. I didn't even see the VV in the graveyard. So now they get 3 mana to what? Creatures, you get haste, and it gets a +1/+1. So they do... Did they just kill themselves? Please tell me they killed themselves here. Yes. Oh, that one's for all the boys. BB, when you're overconfident in, oh, I generated 7 or 8 mana on this turn. I just played out, how much mana did they play in spells? They played 1, 2, and they exhausted 3. Then they played out the Agathas, 3, 4, 5, and then they did the Harmonize, which is going to cost 5, I don't know, 10 or 11 mana. Yeah, you die to my combo. It feels, you wouldn't believe the joy that I'm feeling right now, how like that overwhelming sense of pride and satisfaction with myself. Like it's so fart sniffery. Like I'm smelling my own farts, you know, the South Park joke. Or I guess it's just a joke. Saying, oh, I'm just going to go out with the Unstoppable Slasher and follow it up next turn with a Swamp and the Bloodletter, and for them to have a way of stopping that, but them dying through their own hubris, it's very satisfying. But now we're in a position where we need to peel a third land. We have a whole bunch of expensive cards in our hand, and we are against everyone's favorite deck. So what do you take? The River Churn, or do you take the No More Lies and let them River Churn? I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Look at this hand. So they kept two lands, a whole bunch of removal, and yeah, we're in trouble here. All right, this might be a bad little ending, but you know what? The deck has run very well. Of course, you do that. And I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, you're going to run into some bad matchups, and that, man, Control's just, it always just feels bad to play against. It is what it is. Okay, let's see if they want to No More Lies our Demon Wall. They don't, which they shouldn't, because they're just going to Ultima it, I guess. All right, well, get in with the Deep Cavern Bat. Wow. And then do you put out the Unstoppable Slasher into the No More Lies? It's going to exile it. Or do you Arch Enemy's Charm to put +1/+1 counters on the Demon Wall? Everything's bad here. It doesn't really matter what we do. You know what? Let's throw out one Bloodletter of Aclazotz. They can 3 steps ahead, No More Lies, whatever they want. Yeah. We just got to run them out of these things. Honestly, I might have let that one through and then just let the Ultima come down. But they are stuck on mana. Okay. We got our opening. Unfortunately, like, again, this whatever we play here is countered. Probably by the 3 steps ahead this time. If we do the 3 steps ahead on the Unstoppable Slasher, at least it goes to the graveyard, and then we can maybe bring it back with the Charm. But I have a feeling that that's probably not going to happen. No, they had the mana for it. They had 2 blue mana. Oh, they opt to dig for a land. Okay. So if they use their mana this turn, we put out the Bloodletter, we can maybe sneak in a win here, but I don't see the opponent doing that. There's no world where they use this mana up. They hold up the 3 steps ahead. Okay. Or they put out the bees. I mean, all of it's good. So anything that we play out now is probably going to get hit by the Ultima, and I think the Ultima stops the Unstoppable Slasher, because of course it would. So if we attack in, they don't have the land necessarily. They may have peeled it with this Consult the Star Charts, but I don't really want to overplay my hand here. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm going to rope for a second. It's such a tricky position. Okay. I guess we're just attacking. They can put a fish in front of the Slasher, sure. Deep Cavern Bat. Sitting here. If I Arch Enemies the Biza, that's kind of good. The problem is they're just going to board wipe me next turn. What do you do here? Okay. I think I have a slight plan. Show me the 5th land so I don't feel so bad about being a coward. Okay, they have a tapped land at the very least. But now 100% their Ultima is online. They have 2 white sources. They attack in with the Biza. No block. Okay. Take me down to 21. Not a big deal. So do you Arch Enemies on the fish? there's no world where that makes any sense to me, right? It's just bad. Ugh, it's all bad. I want to do something though. I think I can't. Oh, that's a good card. Okay. But if I play it out, they counter it. So we're going to play it on the following turn. I think what I have to do here is sacrifice my Acolyte. So we get in like this. We are going to play out the Acolyte. We're going to hope they let it resolve, and then they're just going to bank on an Ultima for the following turn. Yeah. So they're going to attack in with the Biza. We're going to block with the Demon Wall. We probably just take 4 damage. We don't really care if they get us for 4 damage. It's mostly irrelevant. So they should attack in. I guess we could put the 2/2 in front of it. And like 100% they're going to Ultima. Yeah. And that gives us the opening to get this Unholy Annex on the field. The Unholy Annex is going to be one of those cards that I think is just necessary. We need to start drawing cards. We need the card advantage in this matchup to be able to do something. 5th land finally finding its way into our hand. And maybe from this position we can do something if we get these Aclazotz onto the field. But Virtue of Persistence, and I don't have any way of, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature from your graveyard onto the field. We don't have any way of removing things from the graveyard. So I think I take the opportunity to put my Ritual Chamber on the field. It gives me a demon. We're going to ping them down to 11. We draw. And we do have a lot of demons, so if they can't deal with these annexes, it's possible we can just keep turning them on, getting out demons, and then murdering them that way. Thing is, this persistence is... I mean, I don't know about the virtue of persistence. What else are they bringing back? Seam Rip to take out our demon? Okay. They still have the 3 steps ahead, though, so this... Arch Enemy's Charm is... it's valuable. But... okay. I think we're just unlocking. Okay. They can't counter it. If they have removal for it, they have removal for it. We find... Hey, the Deep Cavern Bat's going to be pretty big, actually. It's a way for us to... Oh, it's a target creature from a graveyard, not from their graveyard. Oh, that's a disaster. I hate... I mean, it's a 7 mana card, of course. Pretty good. They get rid of our way of dealing with Biza. I mean, this is turning into an interesting little match here. If only I had a way of dealing with enchantments. I do if I played... what is that card called? I'm forgetting. The one that deals damage to yourself, and you can get rid of a creature or an enchantment. Played it in the mono black aggro skeletons deck. So the opponent is dirtling here. They're probably like figuring out if they can do River Churn Monument, activate the River Churn Monument, and also hold up the 3 steps ahead. Which maybe they can. Ooh, they're just going in on us with that. Doing some damage, milling more cards. Yeah, they want to fill our graveyard because of the River Churn Monument. They want to be able to just kill us in one turn with this. It's equal to the number of cards in our graveyard, so they need to fill up the graveyard ever so slightly. So this turn, I think I have to go out with the Deep Cavern Bat. I have to try to take... I don't... Is it... Do you take the 3 steps ahead, or do you take the River Churn? They make the decision for us. We take that. So then I guess it is putting out the Bloodletter of Aclazotz. This way they are 100% going to block now with the bat. Yeah, we get our charm back. They can get the Deep Cavern Bat again back, so they can remove our charm or our trajectory. I think one of the two. But this is going to come down to it. I don't know. They're losing a lot of life here. We can activate our other Unholy Annex next turn. They only have 2 cards in hand. What do you take, opponent? No, I don't think I missed lethal there. Thinking that I could maybe remove the bat. Next turn, though, it's try to trajectory to remove the bat. Then it allows me to remove something with the Arch Enemy's Charm. They do have blockers on the ground now because they have a fountain port, so they can make fish. It doesn't come in tapped, so that's going to be something to consider. They're going to go at us again with the Riven Reef. How much mana do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? They have 5 mana available to them. They're getting in for 8 damage, which I don't care about. Okay, what are you going to do with 5 mana? Do they have an Ultima? They have the River Churn. Okay. So, we try our best to push this. If they have a counterspell... What? What? Okay. What could they do to us? They can't mill us this turn. They're short mana. We have to kill them this turn. So if I attack in... They have 1 card in hand. If I put this out, I have 3 mana available to me. 3 mana available to me will allow me to activate my other Unholy Annex. So I think it's safe to put out the Bloodletter of Aclazotz. This means that they have to deal with both of these creatures on the field. We're going to attack in. Oh my god, my heart's racing. My heart's actually racing. Wow, what a grindy, weird matchup. And I really thought we were done in that one, but holy cow, the demons actually came together. Oh, the opponent drew quite a few cards. We drew, well, it's hard to know how many we drew. We were getting milled. But wow, that attack from the opponent, I guess, was fine because we're flying. But yeah, they just drew really badly at the end. They go down to minus 23. All right, so this build of the Demon deck, I had, by the way, no hand in making this deck. This is a deck that was directly pulled from Untapped GG. It's just one of the variants of the deck. Unfortunately, we never got to see Rush of Dread a single time. It is a one-of, so it's hard to rate this card. I think it's fine to have it in here as a fun-of, one-of. It's kind of cute. You never know, one in, 20 games, you might be able to get off the Rush of Dread Bloodletter of Aclazot's kill just to have a fun little win in that case. But otherwise, I think the configuration of the deck is very powerful. I absolutely love what the Elegy Acolyte is doing for the deck. This card just always feels quite powerful whenever it hits the field. It's a 4/4 lifelinker. It really powerful against a lot of decks. It draws you cards. It makes robots. Like, it's just a whole package all in one. So really happy with this card, and I think it probably has a place in this deck despite not being a demon. Now, we are quite short on demons, but the fact that we have at least the Bloodletter, the Demon Wall, and the Demon from the Unholy Annex, and if we need the Soulstone Sanctuary, there are plenty of ways to make sure that we're not taking damage from this. When I played the Golgari Ouroboros deck, I felt like I was taking a ton of damage from the Unholy Annex. There were just so many games where I was searching for another Ritual Chamber or the Demon Wall to be able to prevent that life loss, but I couldn't find it. Being able to just have one more demon in the form of the Bloodletter of Aclazot's, and of course the Soulstone Sanctuary, we never did it, but it was there, really makes the demon synergies a lot more potent and reliable to pull off, surprisingly. Also, the Deep Cavern Bat, a card that I've complained about many times because this card just kind of gets in my way too often, but I think the way this deck is configured around other interaction and having other threats, the Deep Cavern Bat actually feels a lot more powerful in this makeup for some reason. Still a little low on it, but you know what? It was chipping in for damage constantly throughout the game. It came down. It was like a really good top deck in some weird situations. Overall, yeah, it's a good card. Of course, it's a good card. And everything else in the deck is sweet. I think this makeup of this Mono Black Demons deck does feel good. In the end, we went 6-2. We got one of those free wins, so 5-2. And yeah, before recording, I was running pretty hot. I played, I think, 5 games with the deck on the subway, and I went 5-0 with that deck. I did go 0-3, though, later on when I was doing further testing. So 5-3, and then this run of 6-2. So overall, pretty good with the deck. I think it's good. Play some demons. Let me know if there are any changes that should be made to the deck, or if you have any recommendations for things that were overlooked by the creator of this deck, whoever that was. And that's it for this one. Take care for now. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.